It is Monday, October 20th, 2025. This is another playoff edition of Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick? Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, and intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. Hope everybody had a wonderful sporting weekend out there. The LA Dodgers just resting comfortably doing this, stretching, trying to make sure they're going to be ready for game one Friday, whether it's at their crib or up in Toronto, which we will find out Monday night. Are you excited for game 7, my friend?
There's nothing better in sports. I know everyone says it, but it's because it's true. And especially in baseball, I feel like Game 7's baseball just does it right. We're going to get into it. All the managerial decisions, that's what I'm most excited for. But yeah, man, that was very happy for the Blue Jays to come back the way they did this series. Lose the first 2 games, force the Game 7, have it in front of your home crowd. It's magical up there in Toronto right now.
In fact, let's show you how they got it done on Sunday.
Pop up, buckle up for Game 7 tomorrow night.
It's pretty freaking cool that we are where we are. I'm not going to lie. And you got to keep your foot on the gas and get ready for tomorrow.
You know, we did get some base runners on, but, you give a little credit to Savage and the secondaries that he had tonight were good. It kept us off stride and kept the ball on the ground for those double plays. So
those were the 2 managers, John Schneider, Dan Wilson. And yeah, I thought Dan really kind of nailed it because they got a ton of traffic, and we're talking about the Mariners, and to erase all those guys, 3 straight innings of double plays. I mean, there is nothing in this sport that can flip the momentum quite like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's elation if you're on the defensive side. And we saw IKF throw the finger up. I believe it's right. No, not this one. The next one. Elation on the defensive side right here. And then deflation on the offensive side. I mean, the Mariners were rallying, especially with the Cal at bat. You have your big dog up in such a massive situation, and to go, double play to end the inning is tough. But you know what? Like Wilson said, you got to tip your cap to Savage for keeping his heart rate under control right there in a big moment. And I don't even know what start it is for him at the big league level, 6, something ridiculous like that. A lot of the credit goes to him for doing that in those situations.
To me, the coolest one was the Vlad play because, first of all, not every first baseman is going to make that backhanded. If he's a left-handed first baseman, it's this way, and then you probably have to turn your body, which makes it a little more awkward throw. But for Vlad, nice little backhand. And probably took him back to his days where he was at the other side of the diamond a little bit. And then to have to rely on your 22-year-old pitcher to not only get over there in time, but also catch the damn ball. How many times have we seen where pitchers, it looks like it's the first time they're ever catching a baseball?
Like a majority of the time on those plays. They're looking for the bag. They're so nervous. If you ever pick up a pitcher's glove and put it on and you've played a real position, it's disgusting. Like their gloves are broken in so poorly. It's seriously, you put your hand in and you go, oh, like what is that? And that happens all the time because I feel like maybe we need to have a sit down with pitchers and teach them how to break in a glove because maybe they'd catch more over there. But yes, credit to Savage for getting his butt over there and catching that thing.
What's different about it?
Because they only have it to catch the ball like this. It's just coming back from the catcher at 50 miles an hour. That's all it's broken in for. Like an infielder's glove or an outfielder's glove, they're broken in to catch a ball off the bat and scoop and do all these different things. A pitcher's glove is just, it feels like this. I can't explain it other than that. If you're on podcast only, it's like a tiny little pocket. The pocket is so small, dude.
So it can't open past this?
It can't. They just don't know how to do it. I don't know.
You know why that is? That must be because they're so paranoid about people being able to see into their
they're just like this. And if you look at an infielder's glove, it's like this.
I thought one of the biggest defensive plays that Toronto made all night was on a hit by the Mariners, by Rivas. Mm-hmm. And, first of all, Barger goes all the way back. to try and catch this. And I'm thinking, my God, he's just going to kind of make it look like he was pretty damn close to it. But then the fact that Varsho backed up the play, and I don't know what Crawford was thinking. I mean, to me, it looked like poor base running. He should have been closer to second base than first base. Should he not have?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. So JP should have been closer to second base because you're not going to tag on that ball really, and you have to read that off the bat right away, saying, okay, he's getting back to the ball. Maybe your first instinct is like, okay, Barger's going to catch this, and maybe I'll tag. But again, he's got one of the best arms in the outfield, and especially in this series. So I don't think a tag is the right play there. So if that's once you get that out of your head, you need to be 3/4 of the way to second base. Now, in JP's defense, Varsho got that ball in so quick. You know, any other play and Varsho not doing that, he probably still gets to third base there. So it's a little bit of both. I think JP should have been off more, but also, yeah, like you said, you got to tip your cap to Varsho. Not only was he there in the right spot, but he played the carom perfectly.
Perfectly. And, you know, I mean, this is why we say at the beginning of the playoffs that every 90 feet counts. Now, if you play it out and it's first and third, and then I think Julio walked, and then we got the Cal double play.
Yeah, it kind of ended up the same.
It did. Well, but once again, you never know how a guy's going to pitch when it's first and third as opposed to first and second, right? I mean, all situations are different. It's hard for us to look into that baseball crystal ball, but I just thought it was part of what has made the Blue Jays the best defensive team. It felt like every moment they needed to come up big. And then on the other side, it completely fell apart for Seattle defensively. It started out with Varsho getting that ball hit into the gap, and it kind of clunked off Julio's glove. I don't know if Varsho, I never saw the replay of him running hard out of the box. I imagine he was, but I don't know if he would have gotten to second if Julio fields that cleanly. And then the next play, you've got Suarez bobbling the ball, and then all of a sudden it goes to shit. And later on in the game, you had Cal Raleigh throwing the ball past Suarez for another run where Vlad scores. So it was just a one end, Toronto making every freaking play, and Seattle having 3 errors in a game for the first time all year. That's bad timing.
Yeah, I mean, that matters a ton, not only, you know, in the game situations right there. So, you know, Suarez makes that play. Who hit it? Who hit the ball to him? I'm trying to remember now.
Clement, I think,
yeah. Not only, you know, having Clement on, getting an extra base runner, but, you know, I think it resonates throughout a team. When you start making errors, like hits are contagious. I really do feel like defensive lapses can be contagious. And good on Suarez for ending the inning with Vladdy's ball. Like that was, I told Jake last night, I think the fact that it was a laser 116 off the bat and he just had to react to it helped right there, because you don't have time to think. You know, when you get in those modes, like I said, like the defensive lapses, they can be contagious. And that goes with yourself too. Once you make one, you're like, oh shit. Like, you know, you just start thinking more instead of letting, you know, you've taken, by this time, I'm curious, I'm just going to throw a number out there, probably wrong. He's probably taken hundreds of thousands of ground balls in his life, maybe 1 million. I don't know. That's, someone do the math for me. You got to let muscle memory take over, right? Do you think he's taking 1 million? I don't know.
I'll take the under, but sure, why not? Let's go with it.
Yeah, I mean, you take a lot of ground balls, Chris. So you want your muscle memory to take over. You want to get this thing right here out of the equation. Just let your body do what it does. But when you make those errors, your mind starts to creep back in. So I agree. Like, they got to play a clean game, because the Blue Jays are going to play a clean game. So for tonight, Game 7, they have to mitigate those mistakes big time, because, as you mentioned, every 90 feet matters.
Nick Castellanos told me when he came up as a third baseman, he was booting the ball all over the place. And he told me there were days he did not want the ball hit to him. That happens.
Hell yeah. Yeah. And you try to tell yourself, like, I mean, look, I've been a guy who's led the league in errors. And I've also been a guy who, like, worked really, really hard at it and got to be a good defender. It doesn't matter where you're at. There are days where you're just like, man, I'm not reading the ball right. My hands don't feel like they're working. Those negative thoughts start to creep in your head. You do your best. You do your best to say, and I always tell my youth kids, expect the ball that is going to be hit to you every single pitch. That's like what you have to do. So you try to get it out there. But there are just days where you just don't feel right out there, and especially if that starts to happen in a pressure game like this. Woof, like you got to be some kind of strong, mentally strong to get over that.
Well, there's days around here where we don't feel our best, but we push through because that's what we do.
That's right.
Here at Baseball Today, which is sponsored by Mando. Fall's here, guys. Football season, yard work, maybe even a hunting trip or two. That's why you need to hear about Mando deodorant. Forget those colognes. They just mask the stink. Mando actually blocks odor before it starts. It's one stick, 2 jobs. That's coverage through double overtime games, that weekend project, even those extra long pre-holiday shifts. You're good. It's not magic. It's science. It doesn't just mask odor. It prevents it. 100% of study participants experienced all-day odor protection. Now, Mando's Starters Pack, it is perfect for new customers. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and the deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use the code JMBaseball at shopmando.com, 20% off site-wide and free shipping. Once again, that is spelled SHOPMANDO.com. Please support this show. Tell them what we sent you. Mando's got you covered. Protect your pits. Smell great while doing it. I could actually use a little Mando. I'll be getting to that momentarily.
What the heck was that?
It's just me grabbing a whiff. Okay. Probably still has a little extra stank from the, what am I wearing? My Blitzball Battle 3.
Ooh.
I don't even remember who won Blitzball Battle.
That was the Como.
Oh,
they came in.
They ended your reign.
They ended my reign. That reign, we're still trying.
Yeah, I'm trying hard. You guys are cute. You're trying hard. Well, this guy tried hard to erase the ghosts of playoff past. Let's just say, mission accomplished.
One to Guerrero. He's rocked to left field. Forget about it. Gone.
For the second time in franchise history, the Blue Jays are going to play Game 7. Are you ready?
This is so cool.
Hey, you ask me if I'm ready. I born ready, and I want it all for this city.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We'll see you tomorrow, Vladdy. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Hazel. Hazel May doing a great job. The post-game interviews. Now, for people that don't know, the Blue Jays game is being broadcast in Canada on a separate feed. So they don't get the Fox or the FS1 feed up there. They get their own feed. And the post-game interviews, for those of you that are just podcast only, it looks like a movie scene every time they shoot him. They circle around Vladdy. They're waiting. You hear the big crescendo of the audience as he's trying to think, how do I answer? Am I ready? And he says, I am born ready. That is some gladiator type shit right there.
It's so, I'm rooting big time for Vladdy. Everything about like what it's like, I think he's been through a lot in his big league career. Then I look at his like numbers and his accolades. I'm like, okay, like you've been crushing it almost since day one. I know there's been a few years where we kind of question the numbers. The weight fluctuation is part of the story, whether you like it or not. And he's worked his ass off to like be in shape and move around the diamond. I think that's awesome to see. So he's done everything the right way. So how can you not root for this guy? And you know what? People will say, oh, he grew up with Vlad Guerrero as his dad. It's like sometimes that can make it even harder. The pressure that gets put on you because you want to live up to those expectations. I mean, he's clearly done that in the city too. I mean, oh man. So I root for him. And then I'm like, well, on the other side, we got Cal Raleigh, who like just had this historic season, and he's like the nicest guy too. There's just 2 superstars on these 2 teams who you want to root for, and only one gets to advance. And I'm so torn on which way. Obviously, no dog in the fight for either of us. But man, it's hard. Like it's getting harder and harder for me to like not want to see Vladdy succeed and win the whole damn thing, Chris.
Yeah, to me, the question I wanted to ask you off of his 6th homer of the postseason in 10 games was if you think this is going to change his career trajectory. And the reason I'm asking is obviously, listen, a guy who's been a runner-up and has had multi All-Star appearances and just earned a $500 million contract extension, you would say, well, Rose, how in the world do you say that? Sometimes when you talk about a star player, and, he hasn't had that many bites at the playoff apple prior to this season. He was not very good. I think he was like 2 for 21 with 1 extra base hit, whatever the numbers were. They weren't very good, but they weren't such a huge sample size where you're like, okay, is this finally the year where he's going to do it? It just hasn't happened enough for that franchise with him on it. Some guys get there after having 6 or 7 incredible baseball seasons, and they've been to the playoffs 5 times, and it just hasn't worked out. Whether that's Barry Bonds, some other guys. We've talked about Aaron Judge needing to raise his game, and look what he did this year. But I think that this could shoot Vladdy into a different area where he is a 900-plus OPS guy every year instead of every 3rd year. It could end up making him a 35 consistent homer guy a year instead of 26 or 27. It could make him 40. I just feel like what we've seen from him over the last couple weeks is going to change it.
It could. I mean, the confidence is already there, but I think success in the playoffs is what you're talking about can breed a next level. I think that's true. I think we see that from time to time. I also think that he's only 26. Did he turn 27 yet? No,
Hold on.
he hasn't turned 27 until March 16th. So this is like the age where guys get into what I think their offensive prime. You could argue defensive, maybe you want to be a little bit younger and a little bit more spry, but when you have like the at-bats that he has, I believe his walk rate was at its best this year. I got it right here. Besides 2021, he had a 12.3% walk rate. It was 11.9. When you start to do things like that and you start to control the strike zone a little bit better, those numbers can jump. And right now, Chris, I mean, overall career numbers, 861 OPS. And I know like we said, we had a couple years there where we were questioning, okay, is he a high 7s, low 8 OPS guy, or is he more towards the 9? Right now, career says he's more towards the 9. 25.8 WAR. And now this is getting crazy. And I just want to throw this out there, though, because we've gone a bunch of different ways with Vladdy over the years on this show. Is there a shot at the HOF? Like, I'm looking at the numbers right now, Chris, and he's signed through 2039. Okay,
right.
So we got another 13 years of ball with this guy. And the counting stats, like, if he stays healthy and plays all of them, obviously not going to be healthy every single year, but the majority, like, those counting stats will start to creep up just because of the longevity, let alone like the type of ball player he is. So like, I'm starting to wonder, has he put himself on that track? And I'm starting to think, yeah.
Well, I think that's maybe a little bit about it, of what we're talking about. You say 861 OPS. The naysayers, and I'm talking about, we know he's a wonderful player, but there are levels of players. Only twice has he had an OPS over 850. Only twice so far in 6 full big league seasons. And I just think it's going to change him, man. Don't you feel like you're watching a different Vladimir Guerrero over these 2 weeks? Or is it just because we're so tuned into every at bat that maybe we're noticing things that we don't pick up on in the regular season?
A little bit of that, but also, how could the confidence level not be sky high right now? I mean, you just signed a $500 million deal. You're the face of the franchise. Like, you that's the thing that you work toward when you're at the beginning stages of your career, is basically, I'm trying to get to free agency. I'm trying to get a big payday. That's the truth. Like, whether you want to hear that or not, that's what you're playing for. Yes. Do you want to win? Do you want to, get these personal accolades? Yeah. But I think everybody, and maybe not him, he grew up in a pretty established family, but 99% of the guys, that's what they're working for.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get that security And now not only do you get the financial security, but you get a roster spot security, which I think also means a lot to players. You know, you sign for until 2039. You know you're going to be in there. That alleviates a lot of pressure. Money, roster spot, all these things. So I could see him taking that next leap. And like I mentioned, he's going to be 27 next year.
That's a great reminder.
That is, man, I'm excited for what's to come for Vladdy. 81 walks to 94 strikeouts this year.
Yeah.
I love that.
He really isn't, certainly in today's game, a big strikeout guy. The most he's ever had, I think, was 116, if I read that right.
Yes.
Yeah, 116. I mean, he's only been over 100 3 times in his career, which for a guy, but he's not a home run hitter. I mean, Big Papi made this point on the Fox pregame show. He's like, he is a wonderful line drive hitter where sometimes the ball goes over the fence.
Got 48 in the bag one year. Like, you can't tell me a guy's not a home run hitter.
I know, but if you look at
48 Johnny in the bag.
Okay, so his other numbers, 32, 30,
pretty good, dude. What's a home run hitter to you?
I would say a home run hitter is consistently over 35. Like, those are the great home run hitters.
I mean, okay, let's average it out. Hold on. Calculator coming.
I'll give you an old school name that is a Hall of Famer. Eddie Murray, to me, was not a home run hitter. He had a ton of home runs over 500. I think he had 504, something like that.
Well, I was going to get the calculator, but the Baseball Reference does it for me. Over 162 game average, he's a 30 homer a year guy. To me, that's a home run hitter. 30?
I don't know. It's a good question for our people. I would move it up.
You can't tell me this guy's not going to have multiple years of 40 coming up.
I mean, I could. He's a line drive hitter.
I don't think you can. I think I'd bet the freaking house on that. If we go over the next, let's call it 6 years, I'd take.
How many?
That's the data we have right now on him is 6 years.
So you think he'll have 2 of the next 6 seasons over 40?
I do.
Okay.
Does anybody in the comments want to put a number on that?
And let us know what a home run hitter is. We're having a hard time with that. It's fine. All right, based on hundreds of millions of real-world tests, the experts at Ookla Speed Test, they have spoken. T-Mobile is now the best mobile network in all of America. So keep up with all the baseball postseason action from the ballpark to the backcountry. Why? Because T-Mobile has got the most advanced 5G. It's got the most towers and a signal that goes farther than ever. So whether you're streaming the game out and about, or you're checking stats on the road, or you're experiencing ballpark perks with Magenta Status, you're ready to stay connected wherever your fandom takes you. All you have to do, head on over to T-Mobile.com/network, switch on over to the best network. Don't worry, we'll be waiting on you. And we cannot wait. For Game 7, it's coming your way, 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. It's going to be a ton of fun. Either the Blue Jays are getting to the World Series for the first time since 1993 when they beat Mitch Williams and the Philadelphia Phillies, or the Seattle Mariners are punching their ticket for the first time ever. Josh Naylor, what do you think?
It's going to be a really fun game. I was just telling the guys, like, this is stuff you do in your backyard as a kid with whether it's a parent, a friend, a cousin, whoever it is. But you imagine those Game 7 moments, and you just try to have fun with it. Sometimes you're going to fail, sometimes you're going to succeed. It's all about just preparing the best you can and let God take the wheel.
Let's start with this. How do you think the players woke up on Monday? Are they nervous? Can they not wait to get to the ballpark? Like, have you put yourself in their cleats a little bit?
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that actually and physically because, as everyone knows, I never got to play in a playoff game. Would have been a postseason hero. Everybody knows that. But I will say this. They're juiced, man. You're so stoked. Like, this is the type of baseball that you want to play. And these guys have already, like, the playoff jitters, man, like, they are what they are. These guys have played so many games now by this time. I feel like those are mitigated a bit. Like, the jitters are still going to be there because it is a do or die Game 7. But I think you by this time you manage them, and it's more excitement. Like, we get to go play a game like this at the big league level, like with all eyes on us. Like, I think that's cool. I think you start to relish in the chance to do that. So I believe everyone wakes up very, very excited today and can't wait to get to the ballpark.
Do you think there are definitely different guys who can handle the situation, and there are guys who we talked about earlier, there were days where you didn't want the ball hit to you. I imagine there are some guys who are like, I'll be fine if I don't play tonight. Like, I want to be in there. And
maybe.
I mean, that's human nature. We always
Agreed.
run into people who are dogs and that can take it. And then there are some people who have to sit in the background, and that's okay too. As a fan, I can just remember, because my team has been in several game sevens.
Yeah.
It hasn't exactly worked out. 2016, obviously in Cleveland for the Cubs' first World Series since 1908. Here, I'll give you, before we start breaking down, I will give you a little story time.
Okay.
2007, the then Indians had a 3-1 ALCS lead against the Boston Red Sox. Josh Beckett shoved in Game 5 against CC Sabathia. Talked to Sabathia. It's the biggest regret of his career, saying that he didn't come out and do the job in Cleveland, would have helped them win and celebrate the American League pennant. Get back, Game 6. I think it was Daisuke that shoved. I think Drew hit a grand slam off of Fausto Carmona in the first inning. We get to Game 7. I am calling a Saints-Falcons game in New Orleans. Okay, so this is 2007. We don't have the technology that we do today. I get to the airport, and I'm going to be flying, and I won't be able to get Wi-Fi on the plane. I went up to the pilots before, and I said 2 things, please. Number 1, get us to LA safe. Number 2, do me a favor, don't announce the score on the plane, because sometimes when there was a big sporting event, they would announce a score on a plane. They said, okay, what are you, Cleveland fan? Okay, get it, blah, blah, blah. I get to LAX, and I now need to not hear anything. So I put on these huge headphones, and I'm walking through LAX, so I'm not hearing anything. And I have a driver that's picking me up. And I say, first thing, don't talk to me about the baseball game. I'm recording it. Boom. I get home, it's like midnight, and I have to fucking watch the game on TiVo. Do you know how hard that is to not speed through a game when you're trying to figure out whether your team made the World Series?
That's insane. Did you do it? You had to skip through the commercials at least. That's nice.
Oh, I was skipping through a lot. I was watching it like I couldn't do it. I was skipping through, and like balls would hit off the green monster. I was like, what happened? What happened? Freaking Joel Skinner didn't send Kenny Lofton on a play that would have tied up the damn game.
Our guy Kalo? Oh, man.
Yeah, don't get me started. So now let's get to this. Sorry about taking
memories, baby.
Yeah, but that is my Game 7 scar tissue right there. Let's go over one key for each team. Let's both start with the Mariners. What is the key?
3-run homer. We got to get one, man. Like, one of the big dogs has got to come up big in that spot, because they've been getting base runners on, but we need the homer. That is kind of their offensive MO, is the long ball. So whether it's Cal, Julio, Randy, Suarez, I don't care. One of those guys has got to get the job done tonight with runners on. Not the solo shots are great, but that's not what wins you ball games. It's give me the 3-run homer if I'm a Mariners fan.
Gosh, you know what? I'm thinking about this entirely differently than you, because here, I need to figure this out. Hold on one second. What is 21 divided by 27? 6 out of 7. Yeah, it's 78%.
Okay.
21 of their 27 runs this series have been scored via the home run. That's too much.
That's what they do.
I know it's what they do, but can we get some base runners? Because they do have some guys that can run. And I guess I'm circling Julio's name. Had another 30 stolen base season. How many stolen bases do you think he has in his playoff career?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I have no idea.
1.
That's insane.
He has 1. So I know that's predicated on the fact that you've got to get on first base or second and steal. But let's use the guys that can use their legs a little bit. Let's use it. Let's put some pressure. We know how challenging it can be, as long as you don't ground into a freaking double play every time you put multiple runners on in an inning. But let's go. Don't have to wait for the ball to go over the fence.
Agreed. I got one more. Leo Rivas, don't get picked off. Like, I thought he was picked off yesterday. I thought
He
they
would have
backpicked him.
been.
I thought the replay showed that he was out. Like Vlad's glove kind of bounced over him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like not a great tag, a quick tag, but not an accurate tag by Vlad.
Right.
Dude, just relax on the base pass.
Yeah. If the goal was to tag the bag, then he would have been out. Because he got
it's hard when you're running like that to get there, but
I'm sure it is. Okay, Blue Jays. What is the biggest key for them?
well, I almost like want to throw this out there. Like, do you hit Ernie Clement leadoff?
What?
George Springer's hurt right now. Like he's hurting, dude. And Ernie Clement is a freaking stud. All he does is get on base like all the
crazy.
time. I love him at the bottom of the lineup. I love that. My thing they need to focus on is keeping the pressure on. So, basically I'm saying the length of their lineup, like they've been doing, scrap, put together good at bats, have the guys get on in the bottom of the order, like everything that they've been doing, like I guess just continue to do that because putting the pressure on inning after inning after inning, eventually the dam breaks. So I think that's what they need to do. But I started to think about that a little bit. Like, do you do that if you're Schneider and just say, you know what, George, you're the heartbeat of our team at times, but like you're banged up and Ernie
can't do
Clement
that.
is.
You can't do it.
No,
No,
not
you
even
can't.
a thought.
So no, you can't
Just
do
leave
it.
it how it is.
Doesn't it show a little bit of panic if you're going to take? I mean, Springer was
Lineups changed every day, all the time.
I don't know. Oh gosh, I want to see what people say in the comments.
Dan Wilson did it. Randy was batting leadoff, and he said, "Nope, Julio, get up there." And I know he did that during the season, but I'm just saying it
because
happened.
he stunk.
George is hurt right now. He's limping back to the dugout every time he swings.
So would you take him out of the lineup?
No. I don't
Okay.
even know what I'm saying. I'm just thinking out loud. Toronto fans, relax a little bit. I'm just thinking out loud right now.
All right. For me, it's going to be who are the relievers after Shane Bieber? That's what I want to know. Because in a game 7, everyone.
You know who it is.
Do I? Louis Varland has thrown 92 pitches
It ain't Louis
over
Varland.
the last week.
It ain't Louis Varland. It ain't Jeff Hoffman.
You're not saying it's Max Scherzer, is it?
I'm saying it's Kevin Gossman.
Oh, you want Gossman?
Oh yeah, I think if the Blue Jays win, he closes the game out.
Is that because
I do.
Hoffman threw 35 pitches last night?
Yeah, and you want your best pitchers. This is game 7. Best pitchers are pitching. I think Kevin Gossman is the guy.
I love that.
A lot of Blue Jays fans are saying how good Bassett is at home, so we might see him middle innings. I could see that. Bieber, Bassett, although he hasn't pitched since game 1. We'll see. But I could see a straight starter game here if the Blue Jays fans are right on that one. Bieber, Bassett, Gossman.
Do you think that we will see Scherzer?
We talked about this last night, me and Jake, like we need a Scherzer can. If he's in the bullpen, just need it on him at all times. Like Jake's like, he's just going to get up and start throwing in the pen, even though they haven't told him to. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I want to see what he does. But I truly believe that's, if you're Schneider, what are you saying? I got to throw my best pitchers tonight. There's a layup. No, we're not setting our pitching up. That's out the window. You don't even need to.
No, you don't.
So it's our best pitchers. And I got to be honest, like, if you're a Toronto fan, be honest with yourself too.
Not great.
That you don't really have a guy that you super trust in that bullpen right now. Even Louis V and his stuff that he's got, like he's long ball prone.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do that. I would do what I said. It's Bieber, whoever. Maybe if it's Scherzer, if it's Bassett, I don't know. It could go Bieber to Gossman. You might go just piggyback it all the way through.
I don't know if he'll be able to do that. He was a game 5 starter, so that was Friday. So this is his throw day. How many pitches?
50 pitches?
Oh, God, I don't think so.
Dude, you got to do it. This is the time.
Fascinating. With Scherzer.
I'll go back and look. You do your point.
Well, with Scherzer, you have to remember that when he got traded to the Dodgers, he came out of the pen in game 5 against the Giants and saved the series up in San Francisco. Remember the check swing by Wilmer Flores that San Francisco fans are
I
still
would love
pissed
that.
about?
If we went Bieber, Scherzer, Gossman, I'm in.
Look at Max. Look at how nuts he is, huh?
He's insane.
Oh,
So
my God.
I got the pitches right here.
Look at-
He threw 91 on Friday.
Yeah. It's a lot of pitches.
Okay, so 2 innings out of him.
Right. 2 innings max. Is that 2 innings maximum or 2 innings then max?
Do you go Lauer at all? We talked about this a little bit last night. So at the end of, I think for those lefties, I think you might go like bottom of the lineup, like Crawford, Canzone, Rivas, something like that. You could sneak a somebody like that in.
You're not touching Little or Fluharty?
I don't think so.
Okay. These are the decisions. Let's do this. How many regular starting pitchers throw a pitch in Game 7? So we've got Bieber and George Kirby, whom we haven't talked about yet.
5.
5 total between the two teams?
Yeah, because I think it's going to go Kirby to Wu to Munoz.
Let's remember in Game 5, which was a do-or-die game between the Mariners and the Tigers, you had Kirby, Logan Gilbert pitched 2 innings, Luis Castillo pitched 1 1/3.
I keep forgetting about Luis Castillo too.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is a name that you forget about because he wasn't good and he was pulled early. On the Detroit side, you had Skubal, Flaherty, Cater Montero is kind of a tweener-ish sort of guy, and Melton was a starter for him throughout the season, but had moved to the bullpen late so that they could get more swing and miss. Was pretty much a bullpen guy, although he could give you length as well. So that's going to be a great, great part of this. What are you most looking forward to seeing? Whether it's strategy, what?
Nothing. You said he can give you length. I was going to say that's what she said. So there I did it.
When you turn 40, you can't do those anymore.
Justin Morneau still does them. He's 40-something.
He does not. Justin
that's his
Morneau
favorite thing.
He does not have a potty
Don't
mouth.
say that on the air, bro.
Justin Morneau has a potty
that's his
mouth?
favorite thing is that's what she said.
No.
And it is a little like, I should probably stop that. And I don't do it all the time either, but that one got me.
He's a father of 5, isn't he?
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
Clean it up, Morneau. Come on. There's certain guys that you work with where you've got to watch your language. I do have a bit of a potty mouth. I'm not proud of it. I wish it's something I cleaned up. But like last night on the NFL, I worked with David Carr, and I always know I have to clean. Now, he's lived in locker rooms for decades, so nothing is really going to bother him. But there are certain people you work with where when you say something bad, you feel so horrible about it. You're like, oh, God, I'm a terrible human being.
It's just language. It's just, come on.
I know. I wish maybe that's going to be part of my off-season training regimen. Is clean up my language. Or I might just say, fuck it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. Give me a prediction. How does this thing go down? Paint the canvas because your predictions have been so spot on. Like nailed it to the detail.
In my mind, like this whole time I've had a Mariners-Dodgers World Series. That's like just what's been in my head for some reason. I don't know if I can get last night's performance out of my head. Like in front of that crowd, I know Savage did his thing and there was some opportunities for the Mariners, but to me it feels like a Vlad year. Like he's kind of just taken over, man. So I have go-ahead double in the 8th inning. Kevin Gausman closing it out for the Jays. Jays go to the World Series against the Dodgers.
Vlad go-ahead double in the 8th. So it's a tie score, or are they behind and it's like a 2-run double?
I don't have that. I couldn't see it. It's not clear in my head, but it's a go-ahead double in the 8th inning. Or later innings, I can't decide between 7th or 8th.
Okay.
But it's a go-ahead RBI for Vlad, and then we have Gausman pitching the last 2 innings.
Okay. I, too, have some late-game heroics because that's what I'm looking for. I think a lot of people will say, well, Seattle, you had your chance, right? You won 2 games on the road at the start of the series. You're going back to Seattle where the place is going to be rocking, and then before you know it, it's 2-2. And then before you know it, You're on the wrong end of a score in the 8th inning, and somehow Cal Raleigh hits one that I think is still caught in the air somewhere to tie the game. And Eugenio hits a grand slam where the ground shook in Seattle, and so they win Game 5, and they got it. And Toronto, they go back home where they haven't even won the game in this series on their own soil, and they come out and they slap Seattle around. So here we are. Well, now it's definitely over because Toronto's got the home field advantage, and that's where the problem lies.
I know.
Because
the
in
numbers
7
are
of
bad.
the last 8 Game 7s that have been played, the visiting team is the one jumping up and down on the mound, celebrating afterward. And so how's it going to go down here in Game 7? Late innings, 8th inning. I do think that Jeff Hoffman gets the baseball again. And what was the one thing I was worried about at the beginning of the playoffs? The deep ball, the home run ball. He led all American League relievers in giving up gopher balls. So you say, who's going to hit it? How about the kid that grew up 16 miles from the ballpark where we're playing Game 7? Yes, the one and only. We heard from him earlier today, Josh Naylor. A happy homecoming in front of family and friends who all grew up Blue Jays fans. He's going to give you that swing just like we saw in Game number 6. A blast that's going to give the Mariners the lead. Andres Munoz is going to come on and close it out. And you will hear the words from Joe Davis. For the first time ever, the Seattle Mariners are going to the World Series. And that's the way it's going to go down.
Honestly, I think either way is a great matchup. Like, I'm excited to see either of these teams in the World Series. So you cherry-picked the number there. I knew that number, 7 of the last 8. Here's the caveat, though, Chris. All-time Game 7s are 30-29. Home team versus away team. So I think the numbers suggest that the home team is going to win because those numbers have to regress to the mean.
Possible.
Who knows? That's the beauty of a Game 7. We don't know. S-H-I-T.
So there you go. Give us your prediction. Give us a one-liner. You can be the next Trevor Plouffe. Maybe your prediction. We'll talk about it on Tuesday's show, which we cannot wait for. God, I'm so excited for it. Plus, we've got 2 really good football games. Hey, we haven't even talked about this. Do you know that the back end of the NFL doubleheader tonight is in Seattle? It's the Texans and Seahawks.
Texans, Seattle. I like the over in that game, even though 2 great defenses.
Hey, that city, either you are all going to be, it's going to be lit as you know what, or we're going to have to take like a full therapy session.
Yeah. Oh, man. I was trying to think. Like, they're not going to I guess they'll try to show some of the game during the game.
If it's a last out and Seattle wins, they're showing that up on the big board. 100%.
Yeah.
And they
They're
should.
a great sports town, man.
It is. It's fun. It's loud. Both of their venues are ridiculously loud.
I'm forever grateful for my friend Matthew for making me a Rams fan. But when I was a Seahawks fan, oh my gosh, dude, it was so awesome going up there to watch games.
A lot of the NFL stadiums, it's very different. Baseball venues, you go there, everything is shaped differently. The configuration of the field, the high walls, the low walls, everything about it is different. Football fields are football fields. There's not much you can do about them. But that place in Seattle, if you ever have a chance to go to a Seahawks game, it sounds and it looks different. Go check it out. But give us your prediction in the comments section. Can't wait to read them. It'll be fun. Hey, playoff season, obviously, it's full throttle. So whether you're at a watch party or a tailgate or you're hanging with friends after the game, nothing levels up those moments quite like a refreshing tropical lime kick of Mountain Dew Baja Blast. That drink is absolutely legendary, and now it's available everywhere. You like a can, you like a bottle, we got you taken care of. So this postseason, whether you're hanging out with buddies or you're rooting for your favorite team, you're grabbing food late night after the game, or on a Saturday, college football tailgate, grab something that'll really help it all tie together. It's the Baja Blast. Do not wait. Grab Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Taste the tropical refresh. It takes every occasion to the next level. Find it now at mountaindew.com/finddew. All right, little non-playoff news. The Athletic is reporting that the San Francisco Giants have offered their managerial opening to the University of Tennessee lead man Tony Vitello, who has zero coaching experience outside of the collegiate level. No agreement has been reached. I want to stress that as of the taping of the show. But should San Francisco fans be super excited about this or be terrified if Vitello says yes?
I don't think you should be terrified. I think that's out the window. I don't think that shouldn't terrify you. Excited, I think you should. Yeah, I guess you should be excited. Here's what they were looking for in a manager, and here's what I think good managers do. It's vibe city. Like, you got to create the vibe in the organization because you have so many people around you to help coach and make decisions. And I know there's been a lot of like Cashman saying like he was calling out Jeter and A-Rod for saying that Boone doesn't make any decisions when in fact he says Boone makes all the decisions. We never send him a lineup. So, but there's a lot of help around. So this guy coming in, it's not like he's making every single decision over every single process of the game. Like, it's just not that way. Like, I want to see who he surrounds himself with coaching staff wise. I think that's the bigger question about like in-game stuff. That'll matter more. But they wanted a young guy to come and like be there for a while and to, have energy. And he's 40, I think he's 47.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got that college energy. So I think that's good. And I don't think he's going to come try to like turn the San Francisco Giants into the Tennessee Vols and bring the college game in. He's not going to, because guys won't fucking let him do that. Like, this is the big leagues. Like, it's just a different type of baseball. It's you can't control everything that these guys do because they're big leaguers, they're professionals, they know what's going on. But I think it's fine. I don't home run or strikeout. I don't think really matters. I don't think you can put it in those terms. But they were looking for a young, energetic guy, and if he's the guy, I mean, he's got that in spades.
It's going to be fascinating. We've never seen a guy make this sort of jump that I can remember. Now, Pat Murphy was obviously coach at Notre Dame, coach at Arizona State, but then he had a decade where he was San Diego's interim manager. He then worked with Counsell as the bench coach up there in Milwaukee. So he had seasoning at the major league level and understood, okay, well, this aspect of being a coach or a manager in college can work at the major league level. And this one's got zero shot whatsoever. So I think that part will be fascinating. I mean, I think to other sports, and in some cases it's worked out great, and in some cases it has been total disaster. Like NBA.
Football's had this obviously a lot.
Football has had it a lot. Most recently, a guy like Matt Rule, who did a great job in college, got to Carolina, and it was an unmitigated disaster. And so he went back to college, and it seems like his persona works better at the college level. NBA, Brad Stevens made the move from Butler to Boston, and that worked out great. But he's a very even-keeled demeanor. He's not a high-energy guy at all.
He's the guy that's there now?
Yeah, but he kicked up to the president's suite.
Who's the guy that's the coach of the Celtics now? He's got the hilarious clips every time I see him.
Yeah, Joe Mazzulla. Yeah. Anyway, the one guy I would compare it to, and it's a little bit different, although he's still coaching in college hoops, is John Calipari. John Calipari, very successful in college, gets to the NBA, and it was a shit show. And I've known Cal for decades. I've known him well. High energy, much like Vitello. You can get in your face, can talk, and he couldn't do it in the NBA. And he was like, I got to get back to college. And he went back to Memphis and went to Kentucky and Arkansas and has now had very, very good runs. So I think it'll be fascinating.
I don't think that's going to happen because, number one, the Giants have like big time players on that roster, guys who are not going to be like, yeah, I'm good, coach. Like, I got it. Like, that's what's going to happen. So I don't think he's going to bring that energy anyway. And again, I think the bigger question is not what he's going to be like, but who he's going to surround himself with. Like, his bench coach is going to be like, he needs the right bench coach to guide him, somebody that's been in the game for a while. I don't think you can have another young bench coach. I don't think that works. Like, he needs somebody like a stabilizing kind of force there to help him navigate some of the situations and just overall big league life. So I think that'll be interesting. But you know what, man? You don't have to have some sort of pedigree baseball wise to be a good coach. You just don't. And I'll always point this out because I worked with him a lot. Rob Van Scoyoc, the hitting coach of the Dodgers. He worked under Craig Wallenbrock, who's a local legend hitting coach. And for a while, all they would do, they wanted to hire Craig forever in the big leagues, and he didn't want to do it. And Rob told me, like, Craig is worried because he doesn't have any like baseball experience. He couldn't do it. So they'd be consultants. They consulted with the Diamondbacks for a while. Rob would always say, I don't give a shit that I have no baseball experience. I know I'm a good hitting coach. Like, he had that attitude, and I loved working with him. And sure enough, man, he's been, I mean, dude, like the guys that he has to work with, think about the freaking level of players he's working with. I know it makes his job probably a little bit easier, but at the same time, if you're a guy that has zero like professional experience and all of a sudden you got to tame and work with these guys, like, it takes a certain type of personality that he does have. So I think it doesn't really matter. Can you get the job done? Can you show up? Can you bring that energy every single day? If a player comes to you that needs help, can you help them? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All that matters.
Yep. Well, it'll be interesting. Giants fans, let us know your first thoughts about this. Once again, it is far from a done deal, but maybe we'll find out some news on Monday. We'll see. Okay, everybody buckle up. Enjoy Game 7. We cannot wait. We'll have another episode out bright and early on Tuesday mornings. These ones have been doing great. Thank you so much for making this kind of a record-setting year for us here at Baseball Today. Continue to enjoy it as we lead it up to the World Series. It'll either be Mariners at Dodgers or Dodgers at Blue Jays to start it out on Friday. We can't wait to find out. Oh, yeah. We'll give one more quick shout-out, if you don't mind, to Nike. Playoff baseball going full throttle. You know that nobody's more trusted to get you postseason ready than Nike. So go check out our affiliate link in the description below to shop amazing Nike postseason gear. Wear it while you're watching the Fall Classic. That's upcoming here at the end of the week. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Tuesday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast.